Hari Om. We are currently discussing Module 3 of C# and .NET programming course. In this module, we have all these topics, out of which we have covered in the previous videos classes, members of a class, constructors, destructors, what are static members, member initialization. We have also seen what is the purpose of this reference, and we have seen constant and read-only members and their difference also with suitable examples. In this video, we are going to discuss what are properties. Let me just remind you, the object-oriented programming core principles are encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance. In these, the encapsulation concept is to make sure that the sensitive data is hidden from users. When I say sensitive data, the data which you don't want to reveal to the end users, some confidential data of a particular object, for which we generally do in a class declare fields or variables as private variables, and these values cannot be accessed outside the class. And we generally provide a public methods which you call as get and set methods to access and update the value of a private field. This is what we generally do in a class in any of the programming languages. So to handle encapsulation principle, we will have some private members which cannot be disclosed outside the class. But to manipulate these private fields, you will have some get and set methods that will update the value and access the value of the private field. Let us see a sample program in Java that uses get value and set value methods. Let me go to the sample program. This is the sample program. In the sample program, we have a class import java.io.star. This is a general statement for your input output operations to be done. Then you have a class declared. You have two data members. You have a constructor. You will have a get method, something like this. If you want to get the value of A, you will have a get method like this. If you want to set a new value for A, you will be having a set method, and for B again you will have a get method and set method. And observe here in the main function, I am declaring a new variable. I am declaring a new variable using a new operator. I create an object and I pass values 10 and 20 to the variables A and B. And if I want to get the value of A, I invoke the get value method. And if I want to set a new value to A, I invoke a set value method. Then I can display the value of A, which will be a new value. Let us execute this program and see what is the output of this program. I am going to execute the Java program. I will show you the Java program which we discussed now. You imported, you have a sample class, two variables, constructor, a get method for A, set method for A, get method for B, and set method for B. Then you have a main function which is creating an object, and you invoke the get value method to get the value of A, and invoke the set method to set a new value for A and display the values. So if I am going to execute this program. You will be compiling this program using Javac. Then you run the program using the Java interpreter. Okay, you get the value of a, which is 10, and the new value I have assigned as 250, which will be displayed. So here in the program, a and b are the private variables or the private members of this particular class. To manipulate these private fields, you declare public methods. You declare public methods which are used for accessing. Get method are used for accessing the value. Set method are used for updating the value of these private fields. So these private fields will not be accessed outside the class, but outside the class these can be manipulated using the set and get method. This is what we generally do in any of the programming languages, especially in the object oriented programs. Now going back to our program. Now the same program I have written for my C# concept. Let me go to the C# program. I have the same program written in C#. Observe here, import java.io has been changed as using system namespace. I give you a class name, same variables, same constructor, same methods like get a value, set a value, get b value, set b value. And instead of having the main method in the same class, I have written another class. I declared the main method. I created an object and I am using the get value method for getting the a value, and I am setting a new value for a with 250, and I am displaying the new value of a. Now the same Java program with get and set method is written in C#, and if I execute the program, you can see I am compiling it using MCS compiler. I am executing the program. Yeah, the same output is generated here. Same output is generated here. Now the same process of using get value and set value methods is efficiently defined in C# program with the concept called properties. Let us go to the program. Let me explain the program, then you can see how advantageous it is using a property instead of using a get value and set value method. Let us go to the program. This is the program. Let me open the program. I call it as new sample class. Open it. Okay, ignore this part. I have two variables here, same constructor, get value method, all those things you can ignore. Observe here, I am declaring a public member. This part is very important. I am declaring a public member. I call it as A, which is used for manipulating the private member A. So what I am doing, instead of writing get a value, open close parenthesis, etc., I just specify get and I give return keyword and returning the value of a. And instead of writing set a value int x, b is equal to x, I am just saying set a is equal to value, where value is the keyword. Again you can see here, to manipulate the private member b, instead of having get b value, set b value, I am writing it like this. I am declaring it as a public property. This is called as public property B, which is having a get method and set method. Get method will have return value. Set method will be setting a new value for B, and this get, set, return value, these are the keywords that we will be using in the property. So this is what you call as property in C# class. This is what you call as property in C# class. Now observe the difference here. Say here for manipulating A, I am using get A value and set A value, your normal get and set method. So what I have done here, I use the get A value and I am using set A value for setting it. But observe here for B, I am not going to use get B value method. Instead, I am using the property. You just use the object name SC and B is the property that I have defined for my variable B. It is a property defined for managing the private variable B. So as you use a variable, I am using the property here. Instead of giving get B underscore value, I just use capital B. And instead of saying set B value within parenthesis 1456, I just say the object name dot B is equal to the value. So this value will be assigned here. This is what is passed here in the value keyword. Then I am displaying the value of B. So let us run this program. I am going to run this program. You can see here A value which was using get and set method separately, whereas B value was using the property capital B. Now the same action what is done by get A value and set A value methods are now done by the property called as capital B. That is the main purpose of having a property. So properties are named members of classes, structures and interfaces. So the properties can also be used in a structure. We have already seen structures are somewhat similar to the classes itself. So your property can also be used in a structure and it can also be used in interfaces. And these properties provide the opportunity to protect a private field. We are hiding a private field in a class by reading and writing to it through the property. Whereas in other programming languages, it is often done by implementing specialized getter and setter method. We have seen this in Java programming, how a getter and setter method we have written for managing variables A and B. C# properties helps to access it just like a field rather than a method. We have seen it where we have used the getter and setter methods for A, whereas we have used property for B. അപ്പോൾ എന്താ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായത്, എന് വന്നിട്ട് നമ്മൾ എന്താ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായ ഗെറ്റ് മെത്തേഡും സെറ്റ് മെത്തേഡും ആയിട്ട് സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് യൂസ് ചെയ്തിന്. ബട്ട് ബി മാനേജ് ചെയ്യുമ്പം നമ്മൾ ജസ്റ്റ് ലൈക്ക് ഫീൽഡ്സ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് പോലെ തന്നെ മെത്തേഡ് അല്ലാണ്ട് നമ്മൾ ഫീൽഡായിട്ട് തന്നെ വി ഹാവ് സ്റ്റാർട്ടഡ് യൂസിങ് ഇറ്റ്. വി ഹാവ് നോട്ട് ഗിവൻ ഗെറ്റ് വാല്യൂ ഓപ്പൺ ക്ലോസ് parenthesis. Instead, we have simply given capital B without any parenthesis, which is treated as a field itself. So I can say properties provide a flexible mechanism for what? To read, write or to compute the values of private fields through the accessor or mutators. The getter methods are otherwise called as accessors. The setter method are otherwise called as mutators. Your properties can be used as if they are public data members, but properties are actually special methods called accessors, which are also known as getter method. So your getter method will be returning the value of the private member variable, and it enables data to be accessed easily. This is what we have seen in the example. How B was returning, capital B was returning the value of small b. It can also have a mutator method, which is a method used to control changes to a variable. So if you want to set a new value, you can use a mutator method, which is otherwise called as a setter method. Let us see another example in the next video. Thank you.